Hi, it's Andrea Fowkes. I'm in Sedona, Arizona, and I just let you see behind me is Cathedral Rock at sunset. The sun's just actually set and the moon's, if you look up in the sky, can you see? I don't know if I'm showing you the moon. So the moon's coming out, so it's a really interesting, I love this time of day. It's like magical to me. It's like a magical time of day where anything is possible. I'm trying to not trip over, if you look down, I'm trying not to trip over all the rocks that are here, but I'm going to place the camera somewhere where I can speak to you and let go of the phone, hopefully, so I can talk on a little bit of a deeper level than I was going to, in the fact that I haven't got a selfie stick at the moment because I lost it in a bush. And I was looking for it, but I couldn't find it. So, okay, here we are. Yay! Woo! You know, I love Sedona so much. And the energy shifts all the time. So, we are a bit on a tilt, but I'm going to stand this way, even though we're a bit on a tilt. So, it's March 2018. And what Sedona's taught me in the last 3 weeks is there are so many realities coexisting. I've always known that. I've always known all the realities are coexisting. But I feel this time I've learned, and you know, you drop even deeper and deeper into compassion for all the other coexisting realities, because we get an opportunity to kind of test, you know, am I triggered by it? Am I triggered? Am I not triggered by it? And you get to observe your own reaction to other people's belief stories and belief systems. And, you know, everybody is where they're at. And some of the places where people are resonating with and holding a frequency with, I've had those experiences. They've been on my journey since my awakening in the last 17 years, and I've done the deeper process into myself, and I've worked with clients over the last 17 years, assisting them, empowering them back to themselves. So when I come across people who are still holding beliefs maybe I've not had in this lifetime, but I'm pretty sure I might have had them in a previous lifetime, and I've surrendered them and I've let them go, and also beliefs that maybe I first had when I first had my awakening, especially around things like angels and guides. I went through that process, but very quickly they disappeared from my reality. And a lot of people, I think, feel they've been abandoned. Like, what happened? Did I get abandoned? No, in general, you didn't get abandoned. You just increased your frequency and possibly, either consciously or unconsciously, brought in more of your multidimensional self. So those beings were not necessary to assist you anywhere. They're a bit like being a spiritual teddy bear or a dolly. They're there to assist you on your journey when you don't totally believe in yourself. And there's a vibrational frequency where you get to the point where they're not needed anymore, and you have to risk letting it go. You know, risk letting that go so that you can trust your inner self. And the problem with calling in guides and angels is, if you haven't dealt with your core inner wounding, whether that's past life, ancestral, or inner child, you're going to be a vibrational match to some entities that might not necessarily be working for your soul's highest purpose, but might project that they are. In your desire to call in a guide, call in an angel, they might feel like, oh, that's an invitation to me to come in. So they come in. And you're happy with them to some degree. And if you don't keep doing the inner work, you're going to have these beings of a dubious nature, whoever they are, with you for a long time. But to me, the true spiritual path is to ascend into our physical body. You know, the old mystic Eastern teachings are, you're not your body, just ignore your body, you can tip anything into your body. That's not where we're at in 2018 and going forward. We're coming into our multi-dimensional self, so we've got to ascend into this body, bringing all the soul shards that are fragmented through the eons of time into the portal, which is our physical bodies. And that is going to be challenging. It may bring up pains in your body because you're bringing all those bits back in, and for them to anchor into this portal, this vessel that is your physical body, everything that is a miasm or a blockage or an emotional imbalance within you has to be addressed. And if it isn't addressed, it's going to manifest itself to show you as a warning sign, a red flag. You're out of alignment with your multi-dimensional higher self that wants to come in. So you're going to manifest a disease or an illness as the warning red flag sign. Now, it's your free will what you choose to do with that warning sign. My path is not, although at one point I did, as I said before, I healed myself from being on thyroxine after being mugged and strangled, 18 and a half years ago now, and I've been off that thyroxine for an underactive thyroid for 2.5 years now. And I had to go through a lot of inner work on myself. I had to restore my voice vibration. So if you look at other videos that I have, you'll notice that my voice has changed over the years as you watch the videos. And I would say this is now probably more of my authentic vocal range that I can hold now. While I was on the thyroxine and while I hadn't healed those imbalances, the distortion of my voice would change, and you'll see that from the time when I was on television, my vocal range would go very, very high, and now it's anchored in on the correct, what I believe the correct frequency to be. But that required a huge amount of inner work and processing of fears to get to the point where I could hold that frequency and have healed my throat chakra. But it's worth it, and you can do it. And we live in a time where people are trying to lure you with pharmaceutical drugs and trying to sell fear to you. But give yourself time. If you can give yourself the opportunity, those options of being cut open, of taking pharmaceutical drugs, they will always be there. Just give yourself a little moment to go inside yourself and see if you can do this. And if you can't, they're always the option. That's always going to be available to you. But the more fear we have, the more we panic and we make certain decisions, and they have consequences and actions. And it is what it is. There's no right or wrong. There's just, you take this path, it leads you there. You take this path, it leads you there. So my personal journey has been very much about healing myself. I wasn't brought up to believe that, I was brought up to believe that, we went to the doctors like we went for coffee mornings every week. It was only as I got a little bit older I realized you don't have to live like this. This isn't the way. This doesn't have to be the way. This is certainly not the way I choose and many other people choose, but I honor other people's choice to choose something different. And I think that's where we're getting to, is to honor other people's truths. If you choose that path, that will lead to that reality. You choose this path, leads to this reality. I'm not angry with the choice you've made. I no longer even feel the need to convince you that this is a higher vibrational path or a better path. I'm no longer attached to that. I'm attached to being the highest vibrational version of myself, and I invite anybody else who's interested in being the highest vibrational version of themselves to be maybe the people who want to work with me. If we don't have a good enough awareness of ourselves, we'll get stuck in our stories and won't be able to see our stories. It's so hard to see your stories when you're stuck in it. That's why you need somebody else to assist you if you're open enough to be shown your stories. And that's what I do when I look at, they're not just the Akashic records, they're the emotional Akashic records of all the timelines of our experiences. And they don't exist in linear fashion. They're like timelines, past lives, although we say past, it's all over the place. And we're just anchoring and letting go those beliefs that don't serve us anymore through our physical body, and letting them go so we can ascend into this body, just pulling everything through our physical body, ascending into our bodies. I feel like I want to do some woo! But this is how we should be. We should feel joyful. There are times when we're not going to feel joyful, and we have to go into why we don't feel joyful. Why has that knocked us off our joyful balance? Be authentic, be honest. Wow, that experience or what someone said threw me off my center. And I need to return to my center, not hold on to that hurt and pain, but I need to go into what it is that's blocking me. And I may have done so much inner work on myself, but something can happen left field, throws you off your balance. You have to go into yourself, and you can process that. You can do it within minutes if you got that really good, or it could take you hours or a few days, or it could take you a whole lifetime if you wanted to resist it. And that would be your free will. So consider, what do you choose? What do I choose? You know, what do I choose to be a vibrational match to? What do I choose as my highest truth? Surely, if I call on my multidimensional self, which exists in all timelines of reality in the highest vibration that it can be, that has got to be the most knowledgeable part of myself. Why would I need to call on a being that isn't in a physical body? There are enough people on this planet now who are holding a high enough vibration, who are actually in a physical body, that maybe they know something, because although we can call on future selves in another timeline, they're not in a physical body now, or other beings with other names. They may not have had the experience of being on planet Earth. So their wisdom, although it might be very evolved for their star system, might not be relevant to you in a physical body on this planet right now. So surely it would make sense to listen to people who have activated more of their multidimensional self and are in a physical body at this time, because they know the path. They know the path. It might not work for you, but it might work for someone else, depending on where your belief structure is, what star lineages you have a connection to. So honor who you resonate with. You might not resonate with me. You might resonate with me. Follow everything that makes your path more accessible to you, easier to you, allows you to take your power back. It doesn't teach you to follow a guru, you know, become addicted to the guru. It teaches you to, you need to know that the intention of that person is to empower you back to themselves. And everything they're teaching you, they're applying to themselves 100% in the highest level of integrity they know how to hold at that point in time. And that's how I see it. You know, I see that I'm walking my talk, and I'm, you know, on it 24/7, observing myself, observing what makes me feel a higher vibration, what affects me, and how quickly I can shift something that comes into my reality that doesn't feel appropriate. So, shall we do a beautiful light language from, let me take, do you know, I've got it positioned so beautifully in a tree that I don't really want to take it down. So at the end of my transmission, of my light language transmission for March 2018, well, as you can see, it's a little bit cooler than normal because I'm wearing a fluffy coat. Normally in March I wouldn't have to do this, but I'm going to bring in a beautiful light code, and then I'm going to just give you a vision around Sedona at nightfall, when the magic happens. So between light and dark, which is where we're all between this light and dark, let's bring in a light language code that is collectively linked to all of us who, in a bizarre way, already watched this video and received it, but now we're going to do it in the physical reality. So let's bring this in, let's close our eyes, let's set our intention for what you would like this light code to assist you with. It will be about just less than a minute transmission. And if you've enjoyed this, remember to subscribe to my newsletter, subscribe to my channel, AndreaFoulkes.com. So let's bring this in, closing our eyes, setting our intention, taking a deep breath. Chumokura, Itamakayana, E Omokuranta Kamakiana, E Onomokuya, Eramakiana Kamakuya. Breathing out. And in your own time, opening your eyes, and I'm just going to give you a little look around Sedona. So, okay, here we go. So you can see Cathedral Rock in the background, and Bell Rock, Courthouse Butte coming up, and the rest of Sedona. We'll go around again, because we can. And the moon's just coming out, but I don't think I'm actually getting the moon in the shot, but there you go. So, oops, put the tree in the right. So much love and many blessings from Sedona. Da, 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 da. Do, 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 do.